And on the seventh day, the market rested. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. It's Bubba's Daily Update, and the markets took a little bit of a rest today, although higher. They were much lower. They were higher. At the end of the day, we call this an inside day, all right, which means that yesterday's high and yesterday's low were surrounded today's trading action. So we traded inside the day before, very quiet, and you would assume after 7 wild days, you might get a day of rest, and I think this is what we saw. Everybody seems to be waiting for the CPI number tomorrow. God knows why, but yeah, who knows? We're waiting for the number tomorrow. But in the meantime, markets were a little bit higher. The Dow, the S&P, the Nasdaq, and they all came from way down. You know, early this morning, the Dow was down about 200, S&P was down about 20 or so, and of course, here we are once again trying to rally back. But again, remember that we're not surprised about the rally. It's how far this rally can go, which will be the true meaning of what we're looking for, and if we are correct on our assumption that the top is in. Everything looks and indicates that the top of the market is in. Now, the dollar was under a little bit of pressure today, which freed up the markets to rally because, again, that's a way to suppress rates. But again, there was no surprise. We said on our Monday night call last night that the dollar was at a resistance area and should sell off a little bit anyway. So I'm not finding there was no surprises today to me. Okay, other than they did rally. I didn't think they'd come all the way back, but they did. But in the meantime, the quiet action was not a surprise. Volume was very light. Not a lot of things going on. So, you know, when we look at it, we say, okay, now you had the bonds rally a little bit. No big deal, up 13 ticks. Is that a rally? I mean, considering they're down 13 full points, 13 ticks is really not very much. So I would just assume that that's just a little bit of a bounce. Gold was a little bit higher again, but again, not really doing what you would think it would be doing under these conditions. Oil down a little bit, but was down pretty good, and then made a late day charge, pushed higher, and then closed a little bit lower. Bitcoin a little bit lower as well. You know, it seems like Bitcoin can't get out of its own way at the moment, so we'll see, you know, where that goes. Again, I believe that it's probably a buy somewhere down in here right now. There's a lot of pressures building on all these markets, and we're getting now to a point where it's probably getting a little bit oversold, so you can look for a pretty big bounce there. Grain markets were mixed. Soybeans closed up on the day, corn flat, and wheat was lower on the day. Now, of course, it would be no surprise. Again, those were pretty quiet days as well. You know, you don't expect to see the explosion. I think the important thing to take away from the grain markets was we didn't get clobbered, you know, as you would have thought if the shorts were in control. This is why I think that there's a big short squeeze coming in here as well, because normally after yesterday's big rally, you might have seen some more selling, and you really didn't get that. Feeder cattle got sold off again a little bit. Fats came down late and closed somewhere near around unchanged. The hog market continues in a state of confusion. February was higher, April was lower. I'm still a buyer of April. I think that those are a great value here. I think the big picture is how does the market react to the news? I believe the news is most likely priced in. And I don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to lead to higher interest rates again. And this is where I think the dollar might take off and we would see some action. So we're still looking at, we'd like to look to be short the dollar, long the dollar, short oil, short bonds, and short Eurocurrency. Gold, either way. I think gold is going to make a run down. Again, long term, I'm bullish. But at the end of it, we just want to see the action. Again, I'm not surprised at all that the market's rested today. It was not any bit of a surprise whatsoever that there was not a lot of activity. You know, everybody gets tired after a while, you know? It's like a marathon. So here we are, waiting on some news. We're coming towards, you know, mid-month. We've got an expiration on Friday, an options expiration. So we'll see how it plays out. I would look to see, again, if we can't break, you know, up above to the upside, I think that would certainly indicate that the top is in. That's the way I see it today. In the meantime, don't forget about my highschoolinvesting.com program. Check it out for yourself. And if you'd like it and you like what you see and you want to help the youth of America, then you can make a donation at patreon.com/Bubba Trading. And of course, anybody who does, I will give you one free week of my futures advisory. and we've been doing pretty well, except, we want to make sure we get you in and, hopefully have some trades the week that you get in. In the meantime, don't forget to get the Bubba Show every day at 4 to 5 Eastern Time at libertytalk.fm. We'll see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day, and I'm tired just like the markets. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.